Peace, 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 peace. It's me, Furious Black. We're in a great time, man. Great time in history. I appreciate it. I don't know about many of you, but I appreciate the time that we're in, the time that we're getting, uh, to see the, I would say the evolution, but more or less a new world being born out of chaos. Um, I've been saying for a long time, there's a war going on. It's not an overt war where you see people being shot in the street outside of the riots or whatever, but those riots aren't, you know, it's not what a real war look like because you don't have an enemy or a good person, good guy, and you're not able to distinguish between the two right now. So many people are after the police, so many people are after the rioters. Like I said, law and order is the only way to figure out who's telling the truth and who's not. So this is Osama bin Laden's niece. She wrote a letter dedicated to General Michael Flynn. Flynn says, make no mistake, America, you are under attack. People are like, oh, how are we under attack? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Let's read what she says. 244 years ago, the resolve, courage, and wisdom of your founding fathers forever changed the course of history. For the first time, with the ratification of your Declaration of Independence, mankind was offered an unmatched social idea and dignified way of life. Human beings were reorganized for what we truly are by nature. Recognized for what we truly are by nature. All created free and equal, endowed with unalienable rights which do not derive from any government, but from our Creator. With your Constitution, your founders sealed these God-given rights and protected them by instituting a limited form of self-government along with a robust justice system. This combination keeps the promise of freedom for future generations alive and allows for human injustice to be rectified. This America is what makes your nation exceptional. It is why you have stood as a beacon of democracy, which we're a republic, not a democracy. I get the confusion, but whatever. And hope for all subjugated peoples over the past 2 centuries. During some of our darkest hours, we remember how you fought for those. Sorry, I'm trying to go too fast, and I'm not the best reader, but I'm gonna read it because I know you're not gonna go read it yourself. We remember how you fought for those who can't defend themselves from tyranny at the cost of your own brave men. The world is forever in debt for your sacrifice. We are grateful for the refuge you provide those who can flee persecution. This, America, is your heritage and the reason we still look to you as our champion of liberty to this day. Those currently fighting for those freedoms across the world value the plight of your brave founding fathers who forever inked the model to which we can hold our government accountable. From peaceful Hong Kong protesters who proudly brandished the American flag in the streets to the Iranian students who refused to walk over the painted versions of its own on the ground of of Tehran University. People who live under oppressive regimes know firsthand that being free has no price. They know that America is ultimate shelter for the downtrodden. Watch the gratuitous violence, streets burn, buildings and statues being defaced in America over these past months. I am heartbroken to see how an entire generation who was successfully brainwashed into hating the very nation that has yielded the most freedom, justice, and equality anywhere in the world. I am highly distressed by the blatant erosion at various levels of your most basic individual rights and freedoms as gratitude and guaranteed by your Bill of Rights, from arbitrary censorship of speech to unlawfulness, politically motivated abuses of justice. America, this is why I feel compelled to address you. Though I am an unlikely messenger, Osama bin Laden's niece or whatever, at first glance, rest assured that the name that I carry is antithetical to value I hold, and that my heart is in the right place with you. The level of urgency coupled by the valuable platform granted by my circumstances bound me to speak up and warn you before it's too late. So what's she warning us about? What's she warning us about? The question is, how did we get to this point? They want you to believe that this is a recent phenomenon. The truth is that the undoing of America has been decades in the making. The globalist, deep state, swamp, whichever name you call them, have been hard at work to weaken American sovereignty and standing as world leader, intent of erecting a new system of world governance which they would be in total control. They are seeking to undermine the fundamental principle of your country, a government for the people, by the people, replacing it instead with a world order of international institutions ultimately puppeteered by a caste of technocrats, oligarchs, and international bankers. So she's talking about Facebook. She's talking about Bill Gates, Zucker for CNN, the bankers, Goldman Sachs, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, all that. She's talking about all that being puppeteered by people that we don't even know. Remember, Trump said they being ran by dark forces, unseen forces. Though your Constitution stands firmly in their way, it never deterred them like a Trojan horse. They infiltrated government and intelligence agencies and all realms of society, education, media, entertainment, culture, at their disposal tools of mass population influence. So they pay influencers. You got 45 million. Let's talk to Ariana Grande and have her say something to 100 and something million followers. These people are sick, bro. Propaganda, fake news, and censorship. Yeah, man. These people don't want no truth to come out. That's why Kendrick said, you can't bring the truth to me. You could bring a sword, you could bring everything to me, but the truth. Powerful, powerful words right there. By pushing their Marxist, socialist, progressive agenda for years, they set out to destroy your fundamental values and divide you. They negated God, dissolved the family unit, and dissevered. Dissevered? I don't know. I can't for some reason. Let me look it up, man.
Dissever.
Dissevered. Huh. Separate. That makes sense. Thus, from moral objectivity, effectively leaving a vacuum of degradation, cognitive dissonance, and abrupt absurdity in its wake. Yuri Brozmenov, I don't know, tried to warn us. Let's look up that name. Yuri Bezmenov. Oh, I think Adam. Oh, I remember this guy. Yeah. Adam 22 was talking about him. Was he? He said he interviewed. We'll see. I'm not gonna. Tried to warn us. This social engineering operation took place as we were lulled into a sense of comfort and complacency due to modernity, technological progress, and liberalism apparel. In reality, we were being driven forth down the path of enslavement while they solidified their plans for a covert power grab. However, they didn't count on a great awakening of people tired of being crushed by their self-serving economic policies. Nor did they foresee that COVID would highlight their system's gross failing from an over-dependence on global supply chain to corruption in modern institutions like the World Health Organization. They didn't anticipate that we would all rally online to share information and real news, bypassing their controlled mainstream media outlets. Above all, they never thought Hillary Clinton would lose. Since President Trump's victory, their nefarious forces have done everything in their power to stop him from reversing past administrations' destructive policies. They have failed hoax after hoax. Despite their relentless attacks on all fronts, President Trump has demonstrated he is the only leader who can save us from a bleak future. I mean, let's be honest. If UN troops came in here with Chinese people and they speak in Chinese and they just going from house to house, hundreds of thousands of people, and most of us were sleeping still, and there was no Q movement to get people to critically think. There was only the CNN. There was no internet. These people would have took over America. They would have took over the United States. They would have destroyed this place effectively. They would have did it. They would have been killed President Trump. We got to look at it from this context. This is real shit. As evidenced by the first term results of America's first policy spoke for themselves. Domestically, he removed handicapping regulations to American economic growth, rebuilt a depleted military, brought back manufacturing, and revamped dying industries. See, this is the thing. People see this, people are saying this stuff, and they be like, where is it at? Well, you have to think, he's been fighting the media. he's also writing these things so that we can have better stuff. It doesn't just pop up 6 months later. Most people don't even know that this is happening. So, by renegotiating trade deals and cutting taxes, achieved energy independence, curbed immigration, all of which contributed to settling record unemployment rates. He also saved your taxpayer dollars by withdrawing your corrupt international organizations and agreements. Remarkable. He tackled neglected issues such as human trafficking and unjust incarceration. Defunding Planned Parenthood took care of your disregarded veterans, lowered prescription drug prices. All of these undertakings prove just how much he values the lives of the well-being of all Americans. By strengthening America from within, President Trump bolstered his plan when it comes to foreign policy, and thanks to his vision of tactical use of the diplomatic avenues, he made the world a much safer place since taking office. There ain't no wars going. To name a few achievements, he stood up to China, kept us out of new world wars, made Europe comply with their NATO requirements, solidified ties with Israel, overturned the disastrous Iran deal, obliterated ISIS, took down other key terrorists, and facilitated a historic peace deal between Israel and the UAE. His administration has also made Christian persecution worldwide to top priority, with the State Department instituting a ministerial to advance religion freedom in the first of its kind. With President Trump at her helm, America stands a chance of restoring her principles, pride, independence, and true place in the world as a beacon of liberty and hope for all. This to me is what make America great again means. Looking back at your country foundation and preserving what makes it truly great, but also knowing that the best is yet to come. All of the above achievements will be trodden with trampled with Biden-Harris presidency, and the dream of American enemies to see her weaken on her knees would be fulfilled. Make no mistake, America, you are under attack. I can't. Supported by fake news propaganda machine and violent Marxist groups such as Antifa with their ISIS-type tactics. They have pushed their agenda through fear-mongering, hypocrisy, lies, and destruction unto you, the American people. And for one motive only, power. The escalation of the past 4 years is your preview of what to expect should we lose. An abject repudiation of our Judeo-Christian values and utter disregard for your individual rights. This insurrection, if successful, will sign the unveiling of the law and order and the end of your republic as we know it. Tyranny would inevitably ensue. So, and who else would know better than the daughter of a terrorist, which this terrorist was part of one of our intelligence agencies. I'm sure he wrote some stuff down. We'll get it soon, hopefully, Lord willing. America, you are at the very edge of the precipice. Please wake up, take hold, fight for your country, and be proud of your roots. Uphold your values, stand for the flag in your anthem, defend your history. Don't relent in the face of those who seek to rewrite and serve their narrative and justify the destruction of your nation. You have much to cherish and protect for your sake and ours. We need you to stay the course, America. You are our last safeguard from the imminent civilizational collapse. And if you lose, all humanity loses. Be assured, we are with you in this devious hour in our history. All of us freedom seeking and loving people across the globe pray for to you succeed. Across the globe, pray for you to succeed. Or pray you succeed. We are rooting for you and watching closely, America, for with your fate will the destiny of the unborn millions be involved. All right. Now, go look at this crazy lady. See what she's talking about. Because we just heard what she says. Let's hear what this lady says.
What's going on right now in the news, especially coronavirus.
Yeah.
If you win, your administration is going to inherit a really dire situation. A key model is projecting deaths could reach 3,000 a day by December, in part because of declining vigilance of the public. So, as you know, President Trump has promised a coronavirus vaccine by the end of the year or maybe sooner. Would you trust that vaccine?
I think that we have learned since this pandemic started, but really before that, that there's very little that we can trust that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth.
She's the one to talk, yo. Setting people up in California. They didn't go after the pedophiles in the church. This lady has the nerve to say some crazy ass shit like this.
From the beginning of this pandemic, he has called it a hoax.
It was.
He has muzzled the public
It
health
is.
experts. He has minimized the seriousness of it. He has
Not true.
created false expectations for the American people and American families, even though if he had listened to the scientists and the experts, he would have understood the gravity of it and the power that he as president of the United States.
But what about CDC? When they said only 6% of the almost 200,000 people that died actually died from only COVID. She's crazy.
United States has to actually save lives. And none of those were his priorities. His priority was to do whatever he thought was politically expedient. And no, I would not trust his word. I would trust the word of public health experts and scientists, but not Donald Trump.
But do you trust that in the situation where we're in now, that the public health experts and the scientists will get the last word on the efficacy of a vaccine?
If past is prologue, that they will not. They'll be muzzled. They'll be suppressed.
You see how these people lie? This is crazy. Like, there's enough information. That's why she said right here. Deal. Oh. Online and share information and real news. This is why she said that. They didn't expect this. These niggas is straight liars, bro. She hitting all the points. She letting you know.
They will be sidelined. because he's looking at an election coming up in less than 60 days, and he's grasping for whatever he can get to pretend that he has been a leader on this issue when he is not.
So let's just say there's a vaccine that is approved and even distributed before the election. Would you get it?
Well, I think that's going to be an issue for all of us. I will say that I would not trust Donald Trump, and it would have to be a credible source of information that talks about the...
So look at all the stuff Trump did, right? All the stuff that she named that Trump did. Cut taxes, manufacturing back into America, tackle China, stop funding them, rebuild the military. Like, what is she talking about? I wouldn't trust Trump. She's obviously part of the deep state swamp. This guy on the right is a CIA agent, and let's hear what he says.
Funding all these prosecutors, which I think is a
Right.
way to destabilize America.
Right.
But you can't fund violence. And, you go to the Antifa camp, all the tents are the same. And, I mean, somebody is funding this. One guy was arrested in one area, was in another area, another part of the country. I mean, somebody's flying these people around. Rand Paul said the people that were attacking the people leaving the president's speech the other night in Washington were staying in the same hotel as him. The rioters, the agitators. So what's up with, are they doing, and are they infiltrating this? Are they going to go after, why are they not going after George Soros and the other people who are funding this? Soros is openly saying he's funding Antifa and Black Lives Matter.
See, I don't know how this guy gets into Farrakhan with the foolishness that he's talking about, but George Soros is funding it, and he's obviously funding her too.
The efficacy and the reliability of whatever he's talking about. I will not take his word for it. He wants us to inject bleach. No.
But she believes George Soros, and then she's saying a lie that Trump said to inject bleach. This lady is crazy. She's nuts.
Oh, I will not take his word.
Dr. Fauci said a vaccine wouldn't be approved unless the American people had really assurances that it was safe and that he feels that it was safe and that if that happens, he would take it. Do you feel more comfortable hearing someone like Dr. Fauci say that?
No, I think Dr. Fauci has proven for anyone who's been watching him for years and years to put the public health of the American people as the highest priority in terms of his work and his reputation and his priority. Yes, I trust Dr. Fauci.
So
But Dr. Fauci is the one that stopped the lady with the HIV that was curing people. He said that you didn't need a mask in January and February. Now you got people wearing masks all over the place. But the CDC and OSHA says that the virus is too small to be stopped by masks. I mean, and then he says he's just gonna go off the historical evidence of that masks don't work. He just said that the testing, he would go off the historical testing. Don't have to do more testing because they already done the testing, meaning they already know that those masks don't work. It's funny, you need a better mask for paint than for a virus. People are nuts, man.
let's look down the road. That at some point, hopefully, there will be a credible and a safe vaccine for coronavirus. If and when that happens, should all 50 states require students to get that vaccine before entering public?
And they're trying to get people to take these mandatory vaccines from working, from schools, Los Santos. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Can you believe this? Can you trust these people?
School.
Well, first, Dana, I would say that
She's crazy.
There's a huge distinction between creation of a vaccine and then peer-reviewed and to the point that it is.
All right, I'm tired of her lies. Let's listen to a little more of Kevin.
Yes, and he's doing that through the Open Society Foundation. And we know it's not just George Soros. What is really alarming is the fact that companies like Coca-Cola are giving huge amounts of money to Black Lives Matter, which is not a civil rights organization. It's a Marxist organization. It's connected to the Nation of Islam, which is a black supremacy organization against
Which that's a lie. I don't believe that shit. He's lying about that, but we'll go on.
white people. And they're giving millions. Black Lives Matter, the leaders are now becoming wealthy. So it is pretty clear that a lot of these groups, especially the one in D.C. that assaulted Rand Paul, they are being paid and bussed in there to protest. They are paid protesters.
Do you think that the
So it comes down to what is real and what's not. How do you figure it out? You have people like this saying this. You have General Flynn saying, make no mistake, America, you are under attack. I mean, what more information do you need? Right? Let's look at this. Mind you, he said this years ago.
Well, it isn't.
I skipped all her lies because she's a liar.
I understand, and the specific question went to pay for play. Do you want to talk about that?
Well, I think, look,
but there
I
is
think
no
that it's
evidence.
been
But
very
there
well
is,
studied.
there is a lot of evidence
It's been very
about
well
the
studied.
very good work
And it's a
the
criminal
high
enterprise,
rankings that
and
the
so many
children
people know.
Criminal enterprise.
of the Clinton
It's
Foundation
a
have gotten
criminal
for their work.
enterprise. Saudi Arabia giving $25 million, Qatar, all of these countries. You talk about women and women's rights. So these are people that push gays off buildings. These are people that kill women and treat women horribly, and yet you take their money. So I'd like to ask you right now, why don't you give back the money that you've taken from certain countries that treat certain groups of people so horribly? Why don't you give back the money? I think it would be a great gesture.
Well-
because she takes a tremendous amount of money, and you take a look at the people of Haiti. I was at a little Haiti the other day in Florida, and I want to tell you, they hate the Clintons because what's happened in Haiti with the Clinton Foundation is a disgrace. And you know it, and they know it, and everybody knows it.
Secretary
Well,
Clinton.
very quickly, we at the Clinton Foundation spend 90%.
She's a liar. I can't hear no more of this crazy lady. Let's look at this. I just want y'all to see these people have been in our face lying this whole time. This whole time. Well, let me see them. Why did I put this up?
People to rally against the president-elect. It apparently has ties to billionaire investor and Clinton.
Oh, my bad. Let's get this real quick.
For America's future, that some participate and others don't. We have been given an extraordinary blessing. And at this moment in time, our country needs us. And we need people like George Soros, who is fearless and willing to step up when it counts. So please join me in welcoming George Soros.
These people are disgusting, bro. Disgusting.
This website calls for people to rally against the president-elect. It apparently has ties to billionaire investor and Clinton supporter George Soros, too. That's, in fact, according to emails, if you look back to 2008, released by WikiLeaks from Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta, to George Soros. In fact, they gave tips on how to steer American voters. For example, financing groups operating at campaign rallies. Move On was among them. Here's Gani Chichikan.
All right, man. You know what I'm saying? You see all this and you just allow it to happen, right? That's what we do. Let's look at this. This is the last video. Last video.
Actions by Hillary Clinton do you think are the most satanic?
Which what?
Which actions by Hillary Clinton you think are the most satanic?
The willingness to kill babies, innocent.
Actions by Hillary Clinton do you think are the most satanic? Actions by Hillary Clinton do you think are the most satanic?
Which what?
Which actions by Hillary Clinton you think are the most satanic?
The willingness to kill babies, innocent babies.
So the truth is sitting in your face, man. It's up to you to, pay attention and say you're not gonna feed the beast no more, man. The beast is the system that they overlaid over the original system. They don't want us to survive. They don't want people to be free. They want to control everybody. And the only way to make sure everybody is free is to protect other people's rights. Because if you're protecting other people's rights, they're going to protect yours. You know? Look at this. Yuri Bezmenov, Ukraine parents, hypnosis thing. Let's see. KGB informant who defected to Canada died 1993. And he explains it all, man. Psychological warfare from Moscow. How the Marxists do their things. They integrate. Remember, they came over here in Operation Paperclip. Y'all thought they just came over here and didn't regroup and start over again? Come on, man. Come on, man. Shit's in your face. It's in your face. It's in your face, guys. Alright. With that, I appreciate y'all watching. Go check out Yuri's videos. Go read some of Noor paperwork, what she was talking about, A Letter to America. Even study about her uncle Osama, you know, and you'll see that this whole shit is a game. It's a fraud. They deceiving the shit out of us. They was trying to take over America, and we can't allow that. So with that, man, I'm out. Peace. Yeah, bitch.